check out purposelyhere.com, where you will find my self-published book. Purposelyhere.com also has exclusive merchandise for men, women, and kids. Purposelyhere.com is also available on your mobile devices. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. What's up, YouTube? This is Samitria Beckham, and I'm back with another video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, you share the video, like the video, and continue to spread the word, because so many people need to hear what I have to say. So many women need to hear the things that I have to say. So let's hop right into this video. Earlier today was scrolling through Facebook, and I saw a video back home where two young ladies were at a bowling alley and they were fighting, and they were surrounded by a crowd of other people. More so, it looked like a lot of other guys or whatever. They looked like they might have been in their early 20s, maybe late teens. It was kind of hard to tell, but they were in a public place and they were fighting, and I was, to say the least, saddened by what I seen. And so I decided, to come out on a walk. And when I was walking, my mind went to reflecting back on that video. Or as I'm walking, I should say, my mind began to reflect back on the video that was posted. And I was thinking, our children today, they fear nothing. And that has everything to do with us as parents. It is our fault. Our children fear nothing. They don't fear their parents. They don't fear their teachers at school. They don't fear any authoritative figure. They don't fear the Most High. And that's the most sad of it all. They don't fear the Most High. They don't fear losing respect for themselves. They don't fear losing dignity. They don't stop and think about the consequences to their actions, because they fear nothing. They fear no one. And this is sad. It's a very dangerous position for our children to be in, because when they fear nothing, they don't listen to anybody. They live how they want to live, and it makes it hard for them to be productive people in the world that we live in today. It's so sad that we are already, as a black race, talked about, dogged out so bad. And then we go out in public, such as these young girls did, and fight. And I'm sure whatever it was that they were fighting about, it probably wasn't worth the crap that drops out of their butt. And they are plastered all over social media, fighting, tacky, and just careless. Now, sadly, we don't teach our children, our girls more so, because it's always different, and so many double standards in life. But it is what it is. It's so much different when we see our boys out in the streets scuffling and fighting, and because we see it as boys are rough. That's part of their masculine nature. That's part of their male nature, to be rough and tough. And they can redeem their respect a lot differently. And in a lot of scenarios, it actually gives them an amplified amount of respect when they can hold their own. But us as women, it goes against our femininity to be out in these streets fighting like some dudes. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand there are scenarios, situations, and circumstances in which If you got to throw down, you got to throw down. You are not going to let anybody put their hands on you. I understand not letting anybody violate your space. If you're a mother, I understand. Protecting those cubs, I get it. There are mitigating circumstances in which I say, if you gotta throw down, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I also teach even my girls. First of all, I don't care, male or female. You're not about to be out in public, even in a private setting. You are not about to be sitting up arguing with anybody. You say what you say, you mean what you say, you put your point out there, and you keep it to pushing. You have no need to argue with anybody. Make your point and keep it to pushing, because we don't sit there, we don't argue with people. And we don't teach them. Don't be sitting up arguing with nobody. It's silly, it's stupid. Everybody can be mature, state their ground, and keep it to moving. But unfortunately, a lot of the times those things are only in a perfect world. And I teach them also, if you can avoid fighting because you're a lady, avoid it the best that you can. I don't allow them to let anybody put their hands on them and then turn the other cheek. No, we don't get down like that. We for sure defend ourselves. But if you can avoid being out here in these streets scuffling and scraping and fighting like a boy, then by all means, you need to try and avoid it. But we're not teaching our girls to be young ladies, to be feminine. There is nothing soft or weak about being feminine. There is nothing unattractive about being feminine. But instead, they want to be out in the streets fighting like little boys. It's not cute. It's not attractive at all. You're embarrassing yourselves. You are showing that you don't even have enough respect for yourself, that you out here being dumb and just fighting. But a lot of that blame is not to lay on them. It's because we have failed them as their mothers. We have failed them as their parents. It's because a lot of the times we out there doing the same thing our children are doing. So what example is that to show? We need to do better with raising these girls. Instead of them out there fighting each other, we need to, and you know what? I don't care. Call it stupid, call it corny, call it whack, take my black card away. I don't give a damn. But we need to be teaching these girls how to be able to mediate situations, how to be able to you have your viewpoint, I have my viewpoint, you have your understanding, I have my understanding. Let's sit down, let's talk it out, and then maybe we can both come to an understanding on each other's side of the story. But no, instead we want to cuss each other out, call each other bitches, call each other hoes, fight over these dudes, fight over whatever it is that they are out here fighting about, instead of teaching them how to handle their problems, handle their issues, and resolve their issues without losing their self-respect. And they don't even care, because then they are jump on a live or jump on a whatever and go to talking about, I beat them in and all this and that, bragging about it. It's not cute. It's nothing about it that's cute. And this is something that we need to teach them, talk to them about. You got grown chicks my age still out on these streets fighting and acting silly and jumping on Facebook and want to continue to stir the pot. Like, you got kids that's seeing you acting this way, that's modeling the same behaviors, that many of you are. And we wonder why we can't get out of this damn rat race, because the same behaviors are being shown and taught throughout generations. It's a disrespect to those that came before us, that paved the way for us to be a better people. I just don't understand, why is it so difficult for you women to walk in your femininity? It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be meek. It's okay to be a mild-mannered person. It's not weak. That takes strength. That takes a whole lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength instead of popping off and being able to have self-control and calm yourself down and think through the situation. Now, I've been there, not the one to get all down in the streets and fighting. That ain't never been my style. But there are other things that I still had to learn. And it took work. It took wanting to change, desiring to change. And I did it. Still working on some other stuff, but it's been done and it can be done. But we have to be willing. We have to teach it, because a lot of us can't teach what we don't have. So even us, as old as we are, or come to the ages that we've come to, because I'm not old, there's a lot of things that need to be unlearned. A lot of things that need to be changed in our lives. We just got to be willing to do it. And in turn, we need to be able to teach these girls, our children, the same principles, morals, and values. That they need to respect themselves. Because ain't nobody just gonna walk up to you and give it. Especially if they just seeing you rolling around on the floor fighting like some doggone heathens. Not gonna work. So we need to begin to instill things in these children. Give them the word. The word is what's going to keep them. Yep, we can talk to them. We can teach them so many things. But if we're not instilling that word in them, if we're not instilling that word in ourselves, it's not going to change a thing. And even if it does change it, it will only be a temporary change. The changes won't be permanent. We have to put that word of the Most High inside of us. He is the only thing that's going to be able to keep us. Because there are so many temptations out here, you're going to be tempted to want to pop off. You're going to be tempted to want to throw that drink in whoever's face, because Lord knows, I don't know why, that's the first thing females want to do is throw a drink in somebody's face. I don't know. But you're going to want to cuss somebody out. You're going to want to tie that hair up and get to work. But if you have that word in your heart and you understand what the word tells you, many of those battles you won't have to fight. You speak your piece and you keep it to pushing. Because I always say a person can only argue with themselves for so long before they get tired, and keep it to pushing. Speak your piece, going on about your business. But it's going to take the word of the Most High to keep us and to keep our children. Because we've tried it in some scenarios on our own. And as many of us can see, it didn't work. So it's important to be praying daily, studying the word daily, and authentically, truly seek change. So that these things, we can also put it in our children as well. It's time out for all this foolery. It's time out for all this foolishness, this stupidity that's being allowed in our communities, in our homes, in our schools, and our public settings. We need to take control of our children again. I know a lot of y'all have gotten away from and don't believe in the mindset of the elderly, but that stuff, much of it worked. I'm not going to say all of their ways, tactics, and problem solving tools worked, but many of them did work. And there's nothing wrong with going back to the old school way of living when people actually respected themselves and respected others as well. So we need to get our children back. And we need to begin to teach them. And we need to be their first teachers by the way that we live. Like I say in my book, when you become a parent, whether you want to or not, you are that child's first role model. Everything that they see, do, and know, it comes from you. Mama, more so too. It's because that's who's the nurturer. That's the one that those children are primarily with. So watch and know what you're doing, because a lot of the actions and behaviors they are getting from us as the mom. Hey, it is no discredit. It's only just to make us all grow. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. Yeah, they get a lot of their ways from their daddies too. It's because you can't fight DNA. You can't. It's impossible. But a lot of their behaviors come from modeling our actions as well. So, what are we going to do, people, mamas, parents, to get these children back in line, to help them to bring respect back to themselves? What are we going to do? We need to get out of our feelings and get out of our own way and focus on these children. It's because things are not getting any better and they are not getting any easier. And we need to do our best to make sure that our children are in order, are in alignment with the Most High. Because when He brings this place to order, for doggone sure, we need to be knowing that our children are right to the best of our abilities. So let's do what we need to do and let's get it together, people. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, you all be blessed. And remember what I said. Let's get these babies back, y'all.